Hi everybody, it's Sabrina. Thanks again for returning for a video, or if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching this video. Today I plan on talking about my May to be read list, my May TBR. I figured it's the end of April now, or close to the end of April, so I thought it would be a good time to make this video and talk about my plans for the upcoming month. Currently, right now, I am finishing up the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I am on the last book, A Court of Silver Flames, and I think I can finish this book within the next couple days, and I do hopefully plan on writing a review of the whole series coming up here, my thoughts on all of the books, my thoughts on the series as a whole. So I do plan on, doing that in a future video as well, once I finish this. But for May, like I said, I have been reading the Court of Thorns and Roses series, and I have really enjoyed it, but I think after reading a long series like that, with books that most of them being over 500 pages apiece, I am kind of wanting a little bit of a break from a long series like that. So I did decide, I think my next book, I want something a little bit more lighthearted, a short, standalone book. So I've heard really great things about Emily Henry on Booktube, and I did decide recently to pick up Happy Place by Emily Henry, and this is kind of my first book I plan on reading in May for my TBR, so I am looking forward to it. I think I'll like it. I've heard good things about it, and if I do like this book, I do plan on reading some of her other books as well. She's got a lot of books that are popular, Book Lovers, Beach Read, People We Meet on Vacation, so I do plan on reading those other books as well if I do end up enjoying this book by her. So after that, I do plan on reading Fourth Wing. So this is another book that I've heard a lot about online on Booktube. I kind of have heard mixed things. A lot of people seem to really like it, but I have heard a few people who say that they did not really enjoy it. So I'm kind of keeping an open mind. I do think that I will like it just because it is fantasy romance is the genre, and that is my favorite genre. Romantasy, fantasy with a big romance plot is my favorite genre. So I do think I will like it, and if I do end up liking it, I do plan on reading the second book in the series, which is called Iron Flame. I do not currently own that book, just because I like to buy one book at a time, especially like in a series. I don't like to buy the whole series, and then if I read the first book and I don't like the first book, I don't want to, have a bunch of books that I'm not ever going to end up reading. So I do plan on buying and reading that as well if I do end up liking Fourth Wing. All right, and then after Fourth Wing, I think my next book that I will probably read in May will be The Kite Runner. So I actually don't hear a lot about this book on Booktube. But the reason I decided to read this was because I have read this book in the past, and I do remember liking it. So I did read it for high school, and I remembered being pleasantly surprised by it because, a lot of times when you're in high school and you're kind of forced to read a book for school, you don't end up liking it, or you feel like it's boring, and I did not feel that way at all about this book. I actually remember really liking this book. So I forgot a lot of what's happened in this book, so that's kind of why I wanted to read it again, especially, like I said, since I know that I did like it in the past. But I did, for that reason that I liked this book in the past, I have read another book by that same author recently, and that book was A Thousand Splendid Suns. And I really liked this book. Very heartfelt, heartbreaking, but a very powerful story. I did really enjoy this book, and I do plan on, sharing my thoughts on both of them in another video once I do read The Kite Runner again. So I do know that I will like this book. Like I said, I've read it in the past. I enjoyed it in the past, and I know I love this book by that same author. So I do know that I will like this one. But yeah, I look forward to reading it again and kind of remembering what happened in the story. And then, so those are my books. I know for sure. I think I'm going to be able to get through. I think I can get through all of those in May, no problem. If I do have extra time and I am able to read another book in May, I do plan on also reading Six of Crows. So I am looking forward to this book because I have heard about this book a lot on Booktube as well, and I have only heard good things about this book. I don't think that I have heard a single Booktuber say a bad thing about this book. So kind of makes me nervous at the same time though, just because now the bar is set very high. I have very high expectations of this book, but I think if so many people are saying such good things about this book, it's probably for a reason. So I do think that I will end up enjoying it. And same concept as with Fourth Wing. There is a second book in this series. It is called Crooked Kingdom. I do not currently have it, but if I do like this book and enjoy this book, I do plan on buying and reading that second book as well. And like I said, I don't know if I'll get to this book, but if I do not, I do plan on reading this book in June. So either way, I will get to this book pretty soon. It is on my to-be-read list. And then I did mention in a previous video that I am reading Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in Ukrainian. So I've read the Harry Potter books in the past. They were my favorite childhood book series growing up, and I am reading them right now in Ukrainian. So normally I don't read 2 books at a time. I kind of like to finish one book before I get started on another, but since I am reading this in a foreign language, I can't really sit and binge read this in the same way I can these other books. You know, it's a lot easier when it's in your native language. You're just reading for enjoyment. You're not trying to understand, and there's not a lot of words that you don't know. So this is a little bit harder to sit down and read. I am able to. So far, I'm understanding the story. I'm understanding the plot, which definitely helps that I've read it in the past. But I am able to read it, but it is a little bit more, it's a little bit more effort. I do get worn out and a little tired a little quicker from doing so. So I just plan on taking my time with this and kind of reading this in tandem as I'm reading these other books. So that's my plans for the upcoming month. If you're looking forward to, hearing my thoughts, my opinions on these books, knowing if they're any good, what I thought of them, you can subscribe to my channel to kind of, be notified as I do make these upcoming videos. So thank you again so much for watching, and we'll see you again in another video.